Life, by its nature, is filled with both moments of joy and moments of difficulty. No one is immune to hardship, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a setback in your career, a financial struggle, or health issues. The trials that we face can often feel like burdens too heavy to bear. However, it's important to remember that patience in these trials isn't just about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning how to endure with grace, trust, and faith. It's in these moments of difficulty that we are given an opportunity to strengthen our resolve, to grow in character, and to refine our hearts. Patience is often misunderstood as passively waiting for things to get better. But in reality, true patience is an active practice of trusting the process. It's about maintaining your composure, even when everything around you feels chaotic and overwhelming. Patience is not about giving up or resigning yourself to despair, but about trusting that there is wisdom in the waiting, and that this moment, however hard, is part of a greater plan for your growth. When we face adversity, it's easy to feel like time has slowed down, and that the struggle we're going through will never end. But in these moments, patience teaches us to trust in the rhythm of life. It teaches us that just like seasons change, so too do our circumstances. Every hardship comes with an expiration date. Patience is the belief that while the storm is raging, the clouds will eventually part, and a new day will dawn. Patience also allows us to reflect. In the midst of our difficulties, we are often too consumed by emotions to understand what we're being taught. However, through patience, we learn to pause, to reflect, and to gain clarity. We discover our strength, and we uncover hidden reserves of resilience that we never knew we had. Patience teaches us that while we may not control the timing of events, we have full control over how we respond to them. The reward for patience, however, is not just about the eventual end of hardship. The reward lies in the transformation that occurs within us during the waiting period. Through patience, we are shaped into a version of ourselves that is stronger, more compassionate, and more mindful. And it's this transformation that ultimately allows us to face even greater challenges with wisdom and courage in the future. When life gets tough, it's natural to feel consumed by what you don't have. Whether it's financial security, health, love, or success, there is always something we feel is missing. Yet, in the midst of difficulty, we must resist the temptation to dwell solely on what we lack and instead shift our focus to what we still have. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we possess to navigate hardship. It has the ability to transform our entire perspective. When we start to focus on what we still have, be it our health, our family, or the small blessings we sometimes overlook, we create a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude allows us to see that even in challenging times, there is still much to be thankful for. The shift in focus from what is wrong to what is right doesn't mean we ignore our struggles or minimize our pain. It simply means that we choose to not let our challenges define us. It's easy to get lost in the negative spiral of what if and if only thoughts, which only serve to deepen the sense of helplessness. But when we actively choose gratitude, we take control of our emotional state. We refuse to be prisoners of negativity and instead open the door to healing and hope. Gratitude is a mindset, and like any mindset, it requires practice. It's not always easy, especially when you're in the midst of a storm, but it's in these moments that gratitude shines the brightest. Every day, find something, no matter how small, to be thankful for. It could be as simple as the fact that you woke up this morning, or the fact that you have a roof over your head. When you cultivate this habit, it slowly changes the way you view your circumstances. Over time, you'll begin to notice that your heart feels lighter. You may not have everything you want or everything you hope for, but you will have peace. Peace comes from the realization that no matter what you don't have, you have enough. And the more you focus on gratitude, the more you'll attract positivity into your life. It's not about ignoring your pain, but rather about finding balance in the way you view the world around you. When we focus on gratitude, we also open ourselves up to more blessings. It's as if the universe acknowledges our thankfulness and in return gives us more reasons to be grateful. The power of gratitude, therefore, is not only in how it transforms our mindset, but also in the way it attracts abundance into our lives. Your thoughts are the foundation of your actions. If you constantly fill your mind with negative thoughts, you will begin to feel overwhelmed, discouraged, and stuck. On the other hand, if you cultivate a positive mindset, your thoughts will drive you towards solutions and opportunities. The way you think about a situation can either paralyze you or propel you forward. When facing difficulties, positive thinking is not about pretending everything is fine or ignoring reality. It's about acknowledging the challenge, yet choosing to focus on the potential for growth, progress, and improvement. It's about recognizing that while you cannot control everything, you do have control over your mindset and your response. The key to positive thinking is not to simply wish for things to improve, but to take proactive steps based on your beliefs. Your thoughts lead to feelings, and your feelings lead to actions. So when you think positively, you will feel more hopeful and confident, and in turn take actions that align with that mindset. Positive thinking doesn't just affect your outlook, it affects your behavior. When you believe that things can get better, you'll find creative ways to solve your problems. You'll be more open to opportunities that come your way. You'll be more willing to take calculated risks and put in the effort required to change your circumstances. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring obstacles, but rather it means recognizing them and then figuring out how to move past them with determination and optimism. When you focus on solutions rather than problems, you become resourceful. You start looking at every setback as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than a reason to give up. A positive mindset, therefore, is not only about how you feel, but also about how you act. It shifts your energy from one of resignation to one of possibility, and this shift allows you to make decisions that will lead to success. One of the most difficult things to do during a challenging time is to reach out for support. There's a misconception that we should handle everything on our own, that asking for help is a sign of weakness. But the truth is, no one can navigate life's trials alone. The support of others, whether it's from family, friends, or even strangers, can make a world of difference. When you isolate yourself in difficult times, you begin to carry the burden alone, and that weight becomes unbearable. It's easy to think that no one will understand, or that your struggles are too much for others to bear. But the reality is that people want to help. The people who love you care about your well-being, and when you open up to them, you allow them to offer you the support you need. Reaching out for support doesn't mean that you are weak or that you're giving up. It's a demonstration of strength and wisdom. It shows that you recognize your limitations and understand the value of community. When you ask for help, you acknowledge that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. No one expects you to have all the answers. What matters is your willingness to lean on others when you need it most. There are also times when support comes in unexpected ways. Sometimes, simply sharing your story with someone else who's gone through a similar experience can provide immense comfort. You realize that you're not alone in your struggles, and that someone else has walked that path before you. This connection can be incredibly healing. Being vulnerable and asking for help allows you to release some of the tension and fear that builds up inside you. It reminds you that it's okay to not be okay, and that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Life is not a solitary journey, and the support we give and receive is what helps us navigate it. It's easy to feel like the universe is against you when you're stuck in the middle of a difficult time. When things aren't going as planned, it's natural to question why certain events are happening and to wonder if there is any meaning behind your suffering. But trust, my friend, that every hardship has a purpose. The difficulties we face are not arbitrary or without reason. Life has a way of presenting challenges that push us to grow, to learn, and to become better versions of ourselves. Often, we cannot see the bigger picture in the moment, but with time, we realize that these struggles were necessary steps in our journey. Trusting that difficulties have purpose means that we accept our circumstances and have faith that something good will come from them. Even when we don't understand why things are happening the way they are, we trust that there is a greater plan unfolding. This doesn't mean that the pain is any less real or that we shouldn't grieve, but